Welcome to Breaking the Bottleneck, how to empower teams and streamline decision-making without spending additional money on IT. Let's get into it. Today, we're here to talk about a case study of what I did when I found myself in a situation where we were preparing the capital budget for the next year. The funding requests far exceeded the budget, right? It was September. We needed to turn in the maintenance CapEx budget to the board of directors by the beginning of November. So we had about 4 or 5 weeks. We already had $40 million worth of requests, and we knew the budget needed to be around $20 million. Obviously, people were frustrated. Why is it so hard to get my project approved? We know we need to do this. I just can't get it approved. And lots of gamesmanship, a manipulation of numbers and trying to get my project approved through politics. Some complicating factors, right? As I mentioned, the business cases were really poor. They lacked clarity. They lacked good ROI information. They could not be relied on for decision making, and they were not useful for prioritization. Look, at the end of the day, when it comes to being able to prioritize your projects, if the business case information is bad, your prioritization efforts are going to be a waste of time. So we got to get to these business cases. But how in 4 weeks were we going to take 40 or so engineers who had submitted capital requests and rewrite all these things, right? And make them good quality business cases? How are we going to do that? First, we brought all of them together and we did one 4-hour training session where we taught them a framework and a process that we wanted them to use for making recommendations for capital. And I'm going to share a little bit more about that with you in a minute, right? We did that so that we're all thinking the same way or through our recommendations the same way and communicating them. That's how we really get scale in the training and education on trying to help them get better at writing these business cases. The other thing we taught them was how to really lay out the data and the information in their recommendation to make their presentation more effective. What happened, right? We went through this 4-week journey. At the end of 4 weeks, without us saying no to a single project, the request dropped from more than $40 million to less than $20 million. I think it was around 17. We actually had some cushion for the year. And all that happened here was based on teaching people how to reframe the problem, how to brainstorm alternatives with avoiding biases, other decision traps, they were able to come up with other solutions that didn't require capital that solved the problem just by getting them to think differently.